Hey guys, welcome back to the channel djmo Fishing. Today we're going to be talking about 10 fishing hacks and tips that will help you become a better fisherman and catch more fish. So let's get started. Okay guys, the first tip I'm going to give you is using Google Maps to find new spots to fish. So everybody wants to know where the honey hole are, but it's really hard for someone to tell you exactly where they are. So you're gonna have to find your own sweet spots, and to do that you're gonna be using Google Maps. So with Google Maps you can research the whole area you're trying to fish and find all the waterways. You can find the ponds, the lakes, the rivers, all this stuff that you probably don't even know are there. So you can browse the area, find the waterways, then set up the satellite view on Google Maps and see the details of that spot. If you find a spot that you think has potential, just go into the satellite mode and look at the details of that spot. Now obviously there's some details you won't be able to see through the photos, but for the most part you will know what to expect. You will know how to get there and how the spot actually looks. So using Google Maps can be a really powerful tool for you to find new honey holes. So go ahead and do your research, use the app, find the potential spots, and go fish, guys. Hopefully you find the fish, and hopefully you find your new fishing honey hole. Also, as a side note, I made a video about using Google Maps to find new spots. I'm gonna leave a link in the description, and I might leave a little note up here so you can check that video out. With that said, guys, there were some spots that actually looked pretty juicy on the app, and once I got there I didn't catch nothing. Now on that video, at the end, towards the end of the video, I caught a really decent bass, guy, probably my PB bass, and it was on one of the spots that I found using Google Maps. So if you haven't checked that video, check it out, and I really recommend using this Google Map app to find new spots. Okay guys, tip number 2. This is a simple thing that you need to have when you go fishing. So when you go fishing, and especially when it's sunny outside and the water's clear, you're gonna be needing a pair of polarized glasses, guys. This might seem so simple and so obvious, but believe me, sometimes the polarized glasses have helped me to find fish that I cannot see without them. So the polarized glasses allows you to see into the water better because it gets rid of the glare of the sun on the surface of the water, and you'll be able to see the fish. And sometimes I was able to see a big bass swim by and be able to actually snipe that bass and put my bait right on top of him, just because I actually was able to see it. Sometimes I forget my glasses and I actually can't see more than a feet or two from my feet into the water, especially if you're fishing for shore, which I do a lot. When you're fishing from the bank, it's most helpful, guys. So get yourself a pair of nice polarized glasses. These are the ones that I use. They're a little bit on the expensive side, but I'm gonna leave a link on the description for you to check them out. I got them on Amazon, so I'm gonna leave a link, check them out. But they are excellent fishing glasses. It protects you from any hook flying to your face. You're never gonna get it on your eyes, and it helps you to see better into the water, so you can actually have an advantage over those fish and be able to see him and snipe him. So get yourself a pair and use them, because that will actually make you a better fisherman. Okay guys, tip number 3. You want to stay learning and researching, because there's always something new to learn about fishing. It doesn't matter what fish are you targeting, you always want to stay current on what baits and what is working. So I don't care if you've been fishing all your life, 20, 30, 50 years, there's always something new to learn about fishing. Believe me, I learn new things about fishing every time I go fishing, and that's part of it. When you go fishing, you want to actually be paying attention to what you're doing, because that experience of catching or not catching a fish will help you become a better fisherman. You can also be reading books, guys. There's plenty of books, but if that's not your thing, you can be watching YouTube videos. You can subscribe to channels that will teach you how to target specific fish, and you will learn so much from this because there's a lot of good information in YouTube. I mean, I can name a bunch of channels that I learned so many things, like kayak catfishing, catfishing and carp, deer meat for dinner, John B, Ajo. So there's so many good channels that you can be subscribed to that will teach you the nuances about fishing, especially if you're a beginner though. Now, with that said, you can also subscribe to this channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. You might learn a thing or two here in the channel about fishing. I try to put out videos that will teach you guys how to catch more fish, especially from the banks, since right now I don't have a boat. I do have a kayak, but I don't have a boat. So with that said, you can learn a couple things from all these people and stay current, because the more information you have about fishing or about a fish specifically, how to catch them, what's the best bait, where to find them, what time of the year you want to fish for them, all those little nuances you need to have them packed down to be more successful. So with that said, I hope you subscribe to the channel. But yeah, stay learning and stay researching and watch a lot of YouTube videos that are informative and will help you learn how to catch more fish. Okay guys, tip number 4, you need to be able to harvest your own bait, guys. You don't have to spend all this money that people spend on live bait, cut bait, worms, crickets. You can harvest all those things wherever you go fishing at, or you can even harvest it from your backyard. I catch crickets on my backyard all the time. I get worms from my garden beds, and I use those to catch live bait like bluegills and green sunfish. And I can also use those fish as cut bait as well. So you don't have to spend money on buying bait, because bait can turn really expensive really fast. You can also get a cast net and cast net a couple of shad if you know where to find them, and then use those as live bait or cut bait. But I actually made a whole video about catching live bait and cut bait, and I'm gonna leave a link in the description, and I'm gonna leave a note up here that you can check it out and learn how to catch your own bait, because there's no need to be spending money on bait, guys. Get your own bait and save some money. Tip number 5, keep sun blocker on your tackle box and keep bug repellent on your tackle box. So the sunblock, guys, is pretty self-explanatory. I know we neglect to take care of our skin. Some of us just go out there, no shirt, and be on the sun all day. That is so bad for your skin, guys. You want to have a sun blocker to protect your skin so you don't pay down the line. Sometimes I use long sleeve. I have my hat most of the times, my glasses, and sometimes I actually use a face mask to protect my whole face, especially when I'm kayak fishing, when I'm in the middle of the water and the sun is just beaming down on me 100% of the time. You want to protect your skin because you only have one, guys. With that said, keep your bug repellent as well on your tackle box, especially if you're fishing later on the day. All those bugs are gonna come out and try to get you, especially the mosquitoes, guys. And the mosquitoes are a really nasty bug because they actually can get you sick. So you want to keep those as bait as much as you can. And I'm guilty of getting beat by mosquitoes all the time, but this is one of those things, guys, that do as I say and not as I do. Keep that bug repellent and actually use it so you don't get beat by mosquitoes, especially mosquitoes, because those are the ones that I'm afraid and I'm scared that will get you sick. So with that said, guys, keep those two things on the tackle box and you should be all right. Okay, guys, tip number 6, and this one's a little controversial because I love as much as the next fisherman to go into these big box stores like Bass Pro Shop and Cabela's and spend a lot of money on a brand new reel, on a brand new rod, on a brand new bait. But there's different ways to do this, guys. If you're in a budget, if you want to save a little bit of money, you have options. So let's start talking about Amazon. Amazon actually has decent quality fishing gear that you can get for a fraction of the price that you can spend on a big store. So I actually made a video of the cheapest spinning reel that I could find in Amazon, and I reviewed the item once I got it. I reviewed the reel and actually put it to a test and see how it performed. Cut a decent bass on it, and I was actually surprised on the quality. If you want to check that video out, I'm gonna leave the link in the description, or I can put a post note up here so you can check that video out. And I will also leave the link for the same sack reel if you want to get yourself one of those reels. It only cost me $14, so it was a deal, and it actually was surprising how the quality was on that reel. But go ahead and check out the video, and if you want to get it, just go ahead and hit the link. I'm gonna leave the link in the description so you can get the exact same reel. With that said, guys, if you want to go one step up from that, you can actually download the app called Temu. This app actually has cheaper, believe it or not, cheaper fishing gear. So I made another video separate from the Amazon video, specifically on Temu, and I ordered a bunch of different stuff from the app that was fishing related stuff, and I actually reviewed every single item that I got because I wanted to see the quality of the items, since all this stuff is coming from China. And it was so cheap, guys. It was so surprisingly cheap, but the quality was decent, guys. So if you want to check out that video, I'm going to leave it the link in the description as well, or put a post note up here so you can see all the fishing gear that I got from Temu and how good the quality was. Like I said, if you want to save some money, you got options. You don't have to always go and spend the big money. Tip number 7. This one's about timing. The time of the year, the time of the day, the time that you should be out there fishing. So some of these things are broad and we apply to multiple species, but some of the ones that I'm going to talk about are really specific for certain species as far as timing goes. For example, if you want to fish for bass during the summer, you want to be looking at fishing early in the morning or late in the afternoon. With that said, you can still catch them during the middle of the day, but it's going to be slightly difficult to do so. So if you want to improve your odds of catching bass, you want to catch them early in the morning or late in the afternoon during the summer. During the spring, you can probably fish all day long and still catch them. So timing is important, guys. So you need to know the timing of the specific species of fish you're trying to catch. Like if I want to target catfish, I'm probably gonna be more successful if I go at night, because catfish are nocturnal and they like to feed at night. Like with that said again, you can always catch a catfish during the day, but for the most part, if I want to be successful, I will go at night because I know that's when they're gonna be more active. Now let's talk about something slightly different, like white bass. In my area, the white bass run is probably around January, February, March, right? So those months I had to be out there trying to catch some white bass because that's the best time to catch them. You can catch white bass year round as well, but you gotta find them. But during those 3 months, they are gonna be more concentrated and way more active on the river specifically, so you'll be able to catch a bunch of them and you're gonna have a blast. I actually have a video catching white bass, and it was pretty much a white bass every single cast. I'm gonna leave a link in the description for you to check it out, and I'm gonna leave a post note out here for you to check it out. But with that said, guys, the timing is important, so you need to research the timing of the specific species of fish you're trying to catch. With that said, knowing the time those fish are gonna be there is gonna make it way easier for you to catch them. Okay guys, tip number 8. This one's a little specific, but if you watch my channel, you know I do a lot of catfishing from the bank, and if you haven't checked out those videos, I have a playlist of catfishing that you can check out and enjoy on my channel. But with that said, this one is more for when you're fishing the bottom and you're using multiple rods. So sometimes it can be kind of difficult to keep up with all the rods that you're using if you're using multiple rods. So you need to have stands. Now there's really expensive stands and they're really cheap stands, and I have found the ones that I think work the best. They're economical and you can they're very portable. So I'm gonna leave the Amazon link for these items so you can check them out if you want to order them and use them. Also, I'm gonna leave the link for the bite indicators, which come in a form of a bell that you can put at the tip of your rod, and that will let you know if you got a bite or not. When you're using multiple rods, you try to keep up with your baits being in the water, and you're doing multiple things. So this little bell will actually alert you and let you know that you have a bite. They're super useful and super economical, so you can get them on Amazon, and I'm gonna leave the link down in the description for you to get them. With that said, guys, get yourself stands and get yourself the bells. Tip number 9, and we're almost there, guys. We're almost at 10. This is number 9, and this is one of the big ones, guys. How to keep your soft baits on the hook. So if you want to keep your soft baits on the hook, you're gonna need elastic thread. This is a thread that you can use to actually tie your soft baits like chicken liver, chicken breast, dough baits, sting baits, and you can actually secure those bait into a hook. So as you guys know, I do a lot of catfishing. So when I'm doing catfishing, I'm using circle hooks, and those are notorious for not keeping the soft baits on them. As soon as you cast them out, the bait flies off, and now you have a better hook. So to avoid that, if you're using chicken liver, you can just attach the chicken liver to your hook like you always will do it, and use the magic thread, wrap it around as many times as you feel comfortable with, and just pop it. And you don't even have to make a knot. It's that simple, guys. If you want to get some of this stuff, I'm gonna leave the link down in the description so you can check them out on Amazon. Like I said, this is the most inexpensive way to keep the soft baits on your hook, and it will definitely help you catch more fish, and it will help you to be more efficient at keeping your baits on the hook so the fish can find it and you can catch them. Alright, guys, this is number 10, and it's just have fun, guys. Don't put pressure on yourself. Don't try to impress people. It's not fun when you're beating yourself up when you didn't catch anything that day. You will always catch experience. Every time you go out there, you're gonna catch some experience, and you will enjoy the outdoors. So have fun, guys, and the main thing is just keep fishing, because that's the only thing that will actually make you a better fisherman. Just keep fishing. I'm out.